Hey, hello everybody, it's me, yours truly. I just see you right there. And welcome to episode 5 of Chilling3000 Hangouts. This is going to be a very special episode tonight. I've been the announcer. I was very programmed for all of these episodes. Went back to earlier this year. So, and by the way, I was not at the today. Those are just fake news. Like, seriously. But anyway, here's the main. The main star, hey man, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. That was hello everybody, just want to make a thank you video to all each and every one of you who has supported Chilling3000 Hangouts for the past 175 episodes. I couldn't do it without you guys, and I'm so looking forward to this episode tonight. I'll explain more why once we get there, but in the meantime I have a highlight video for the wall. Hope y'all enjoyed this music here. For those who want to know what the song is called, please contact me first. But anyway, thank y'all so much, and enjoy the rest of this podcast. And let's get the party started. Time to party. Fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. Oh, Carlos in the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow boxer fighting folks who aren't even there. With a woman in his corner, fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. Every post feels big, like a fight he's won, but the threads unravel, coming undone. They answer back, the cheers are thrown his way. He's lost in shadows where the light won't stay. She says, don't mind the noise, you're changing the world. You're my little warrior, battle flags unfurled. Her voice pulls him deeper, she feeds the fire, while Carlos loses himself in a dark desire. Oh, Carlos in the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow boxer fighting folks who aren't even there. With the woman in his corner, fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. In the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow boxer fighting folks who aren't even there. With a woman in his corner, fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. Every post feels big, like a fight he's won, but the threads unravel, coming undone. They answer back, the cheers are thrown his way. He's lost in shadows where the light won't stay. She says, don't mind the noise, you're changing the world. You're my little warrior, battle flags unfurled. Her voice pulls him deeper, she feeds the fire, while Carlos loses himself in a dark desire. Oh, Carlos in the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow boxer fighting folks who aren't even there. With the woman in his corner, fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. Oh, Carlos in the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow boxer fighting folks who aren't even there. With a woman in his corner, fan and mighty winds, caught up in the drama, the battle never ends. Every post feels big, like a fight he's won, but the threads unravel, coming undone. They answer back, the cheers are thrown his way. He's lost in shadows where the light won't stay. She says, don't mind the noise, you're changing the world. You're my little warrior, battle flags unfurled. Her voice pulls him deeper, she feeds the fire, while Carlos loses himself in a dark desire.
Oh, call us in the chat room, swinging at the air. A shadow box.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 175 of Chilling3000 Hangouts. Our interview with Enya will be here in just about 15 minutes. How is everybody tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing well.
That's good to hear. And I want to thank my substitute producer, Pope 3000, for making that highlight video of my turns there. For this evening.
Yeah, David, when are you gonna become the Pope?
Probably let's say December 31st or 21st of 2032 when the thing hits the earth.
2032. Okay, at the end of 32. Okay, that'll be fine.
Yeah. What is this? A coke stream. Oh, no. Funny how I'm actually having pizza during this. Okay, good. Oh, we always gotta have pizza on Friday night, right? Then?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. What is your traditional Friday food there, Jesse?
Pizza.
What about for all 3 meals on a Friday? No. You don't have to say it, but
Food varies for me.
Oh, I think I say more. But Danny, what do you think about the new Pope here so far? Like, what was your reaction when you saw the Pope?
You asked what was my reaction to the new Pope?
What? Who is this?
Go ahead. What you got to say?
How you doing tonight, Jordan?
I'm doing great. It's actually a great day. Doing some cleaning. Ate some wings, and waiting for my fiance to come home. And everything's been copacetic.
That's good. So I want to ask you this: what is your traditional Friday food? I asked Jesse. I want to ask you.
Today it was hamburgers.
Nice.
Okay.
You meet me, I meet you. Fair is fair. Anyway, my point is, no, my Friday nights are usually just it's very boring unless I'm working. If it's like just a chill day, some cleaning, some food, some sex, maybe a movie, maybe everything all at once. You never know. But yeah, that's some gaming. Right now I've been cleaning and doing some random shit, and so that's my red ray. Is that too bipolar enough for you, David? But I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Now my next question is, as you're under 10 minutes into the interview, what is your favorite day of the week? I will start with this person right here.
My favorite day is usually Wednesday, because that's when the Hangman Outcast usually premieres, unless we get delayed next week because of the work reasons. But if I had to pick a separate day, it would be Tuesday, because also Popcorn Panel podcast. But more importantly, that's usually the day I visit my mom. But again, that could change due to work reasons. But nonetheless, those are my 2 favorite days.
Okay. Hope you're doing well, Dante. What about for you, Jesse?
Well, mostly the weekends, Saturday, just like my chill day.
All right, Danny.
Wednesday or a Saturday.
Why is that?
Because my old work schedule, Wednesday would feel like Friday because I wouldn't have to go in early the next day. I'd have to go in the afternoon, but not in the morning. So Wednesday kind of used to feel like a mini-ish Friday. And Saturday is good because what did I say? I said Wednesday and Friday. Friday because Friday. But sometimes Saturday is good, but sometimes Saturday isn't as good as Friday.
Okay. Interesting. Now my final question is before we get ready for the interview in a little bit. If you had to pick a dream job for you to, if you sacrifice yourself to quit your job you're doing right now, what would be the dream job for you to do? I would start with.
Anyway, my dream job, I have two. It would be opening up a movie store that movie and gaming store that contains movies and games, new and old, retro and all that good stuff. Even stuff with laser discs, VHS, and so on and so forth. And then of course the console games from every generation. The other thing would be become a writer.
Palace.
Oh yeah, and then we call it the blackest palace in San Antonio. Anyway, my point is the other dream thing is to either be a writer or a screenwriter, which is still something I'm working on.
Anyway, that was a very interesting guest. One was strangest guest we ever had on the show.
I agree.
Jesse, your answer.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing YouTube as a dream job. Comfortably on it. That'd be fun. Full time.
Full time.
Yeah.
What would be like, since you're doing YouTube right now, what would be like, you have to go to the very next step of it. What step would it be like as for trying to be out of the box and whatnot?
Well, if I didn't do YouTube, I'd probably, work or try and build a business on my own.
Okay. Danny?
That's a tough one. At the moment, I'd say either comedian, stand-up comedian, or a game show host.
Okay. Now as for comedian, what type of jokes? What type of
jokes about what's happening in the world today, I think.
And
I would make jokes about game shows and how game show fans are weird on the internet, and maybe jokes about my high school experiences, about that, David, the drama that I had to witness and eventually write about.
Yeah.
I could turn that into a stand-up comedy routine.
Okay. Now, since I guess there's more time, I thought the answers would be longer. What do you guys think about the current state of streaming? Like, everybody's streaming nowadays. Would you rather pick regular TV or cable or streaming right now? Danny?
Both. I have to go with both because they both offer different things. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, cable has variety.
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah.
That is true. And for me, like, it just stinks because there is certain channels on cable that you don't get with streaming, and it stinks. Like with sports, for example. Like MLB Network, I don't know if that's on stream. I mean, it is on your MLB.TV app, but you have to pay for that. So it's just weird. Also, if you may notice why I'm in a bit of a bad mood, is because both Boston teams lost today. The Celtics and the Red Sox. And the Celtics are eliminated. The Celtics are eliminated from the Knicks. But I would say this right here, right now. With Jason Tatum out next season, I may not, or it takes 9 months to recover, right, Jesse?
Yeah, it takes 9 months to a year. And how old is he? Hopefully
he's 26-ish.
Okay, yeah, he'll hopefully he recovers from that. Like that time when Tony Parker tore his quad.
Because his record basketball player. Every time I watch the Celtics and he's not in the lineup, I turn it off. Because the Celtics are not good with him not playing. So, what were you saying, Denny? Or
yeah, pretty soon we have an interview with a former model from The Price is Right and a substitute model on a few episodes of Deal or No Deal from 2000.
And she was a video vixen for hip hop, if I recall.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna put you guys back. I'm gonna put you guys backstage. I'll have you guys be at the live chat. I got so I can play it. I'm here with a special guest tonight. She is a game show model from The Price is Right and Deal or No Deal, and also done other things to television as well. Please welcome Anna. How are you doing, Anna?
Hi, David. How are you today?
I'm doing well. So, tell us how you got into the game show business and television business, and also model business as well.
Game show business. Well, it's funny when you're pursuing acting, especially if you're lucky enough to be doing it in LA. It's funny how many just random opportunities kind of somehow come your way. I never really intended to get into game shows per se, but I was always a big fan of them. I was always a big fan of The Price is Right and Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, you name it. I love, I'm kind of a game show geek. So I don't remember the exact year, but so I was lucky enough to get to audition for The Price is Right before, I think it was the year or so before Bob Barker left the show.
Oh wow.
And so anybody who's familiar with that show knows that the models that have been on, that are on there tend to stay a lot of years. And so that was really, it was really fortunate to get to do that. And I was thrilled to do it because, like I said, I was always a fan of the show. Yeah. And so I got to do it. I got to meet Bob and work with Bob, and it was just kind of a random thing that happened. But I had I had a modeling agent, and that's how I got to do it. Yeah.
When you got the job, what was your first reaction? Like, what was it like? I made it. I finally made it.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you the funny thing. One of the first things that I noticed was, how when the doors open when the contestants getting to see, what's behind the door. The doors were really noisy. It was like, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was kind of startling. Like, oh, okay. I thought something had actually happened. So, but I thought it was really cool. And I thought, because I was what's called I was still trying out. You kind of go on like a probationary period with the, where you get to chosen as the main models or whatever. So I remember just thinking, you know what, I hope I get the job, full time. But even if I don't, I just felt like it was kind of an iconic thing to get to get to be on that stage.
Yeah, be part of one of the most popular game shows of all time and the longest game show of all time right now. And you got to do it with Drew Carey too as well, right? Or am I more on that?
I didn't get to work with Drew Carey on The Price is Right. I did work on the Drew Carey show before he started, before he was on The Price is Right. So, so I have met Drew, and I think he's a great host.
Yeah, I met him as well last December on my LA trip. I'll talk to you about it later. But he a lot of great people on Price is Right, and I'm glad you were able to be part of that show as well. Mm-hmm. And you also did Deal or No Deal. Tell us about that.
Deal or No Deal. Yeah, that was an amazing opportunity too. The way that started was I used to do and still do a lot of hosting. And so I got a call from my hosting agent, and they said that Howie Mandel was going to be hosting a new series, and they were looking for a co-host. So I went in and I just had an interview and that sort of thing. And then I got what's called a callback the next day. Well, when I went in for the callback, there were at least maybe 75 other women there in the office or in the waiting area. And I called my agent and I said, is this a hosting job or is it a modeling job? Because everybody was just so gorgeous. And by that time I had been, I kind of knew who my competition was from previous years and just seeing, sort of the same faces over and over again. And there were a bunch of people I didn't really recognize. So, so as it turned out, they had this concept for having 26, models, and they kind of really explained the concept to me. And I kind of thought, I don't know if that's going to work. It just didn't click for me. I just didn't quite understand it. Obviously, I learned to understand it because it turned out to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, a lot harder work than most people might think. Standing up up on those heels.
Yeah, tell us, like, how long was usually the taping? Like, is it usually 1 hour, like, live to tape, like, Price is Right, or does it take longer?
It's about an hour or so, per show. We would tape 5 shows a week, but we would do 5 shows in 3 days. So it was kind of spread out over the 3-day period. So it takes about an hour to tape or so.
And it's all those shows
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, is all those shows in order, or did they put them like out of order?
They were pretty much in order. Yeah, pretty much in order. And it was it was very much like you watch it on TV, because we, for example, the models, we didn't know what the amounts were in our suitcases. They really keep that a secret from everybody so that, you get an authentic reaction and that sort of thing. And you end up cheering on the contestants. So.
Yeah. And what was Howie like as well?
Oh, Howie's great. Howie's just, he's very fun to work with, very easygoing, very encouraging. One of the best people I've had a chance to work with. Yeah.
And it's funny that at first, when Drew got the call to get the job, Drew and Howie, they never wanted to do the show in the first place, and they eventually got the job and hosted. So it's kind of funny how that works. When at first when they never wanted to do the job, and they got the job later on. So
exactly.
What was your favorite memories of both Price and No Deal?
That's let me see. I'm trying to remember. I think one of the I was number 8, and apparently statistically the number 8 gets called more than any other number as the number that people that they choose to hold that suitcase that they think has $1 million in it. So and you're obviously really hoping for it, but one instance that I really remember that I loved was there was this man, he came up there and he picked my number 8, but he brought a drawing from his son, and his son had, showed, it was like like stick figures, but it was his dad picking the number 8. And so I thought that was really cute. And he came in with, the drawing, and it was just a really sweet moment. I didn't have the $1 million in that suitcase, but he did pretty well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and what about Bob? Price is Right. Sorry.
Best moment. I slipped. I slipped once, and thankfully they reshot it. But wearing high heels and a bikini, not a bikini, but a swimsuit. But I slipped. That was a little embarrassing, but it happened.
I used to smell one of the models having a car and.
Exactly.
Because that's happened on Price is Right many times when the model was driving the car and it went into the door.
Yeah. I was like, oh, the car doesn't stop. The brakes don't work.
Yeah. I would say those. Remember those April Fool's episodes that Price is Right did back then? Those are funny. If you see those April Fool's episodes.
Oh yes.
A lot of funny moments.
Yeah.
So as for back to Deal or No Deal. How did he get the number 8?
That's a good question. I don't even know. They were just sort of assigned to us. I think if I was going to pick a number, I probably would have picked 12 because 12 is my birthday. So, but we were just kind of assigned those, and I'm not really sure I don't know how that happened. So you go with what you get.
Yeah, and you were there for 3 or 4 seasons all the 4.
I was actually only there for 1 season.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was offered another opportunity. I ended up working with the E channel right after that. So and I really liked hosting, so that was kind of my that was sort of my main goal in doing it. So I was
Yeah.
great.
It said on the, when I was doing my research here, it said second season. So I thought you were.
I was okay. I started the second season of Dealer
Yeah.
No Deal. I auditioned and then I ended up having to turn it down because there was another opportunity. But then I was able to get
Okay.
back on later. That's how it happened.
All right, cool. And also, when I was doing research here, part of sports as well, like there one in sports reporting. Tell us about that.
Well, the first sports reporting I got to do was with KCBS and KCAL 9, which are the local CBS affiliates in Los Angeles. And I got to do fan cam reporting. So that was actually a lot of fun in that I just got to cover all of the fan reactions to everything from baseball to hockey to, I mean, you name the sport, I got to cover it. And it was most of the time I was in a bar or at a game or something on a field, something like that. But it was a lot of fun because you never know, working with athletes is fun, but fans, you never know what they're going to say.
Never.
Here's a funny story. One time in a bar, it was at a Hooters. I think, by the way, I went to every single Hooters I think there was in Southern California for about 2.5 years.
Oh my.
And it was fun. I knew all the girls. It was great. I remember one time in particular. So you're setting up your shots before you go live with the people back in the studio. And so I set up the shot and I had talked to a couple that were sitting at the bar and I said, would you guys mind talking to us about, I don't remember what the game was, but anyway, asked them and they said, yeah, sure. Well, by the time we go live, they had a couple of more drinks.
Oh,
so
no.
By that time, it was sort of not quite what I was expecting, but you got to be spontaneous. And I learned to sort of think on my feet because of that job. But that was the first time I got to sports reporting. But I also got to work with Fox Sports Net a lot. Okay. That I got to talk with more athletes. I know I talked with Peyton Manning, with Evander Holyfield, a lot of people, John Sally, a lot of athletes that way.
Awesome. And what was the team that you covered back then?
The team I covered at that time, the Raiders were with Oakland, so the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers at the time, because LA didn't have a football team at the time. I also covered the Dodgers. I covered the like I said, every sport. At the Angels, anything that was in or around Southern California, or even in that case with the football teams, all of California, pretty much.
Yeah. And what World Series did you cover?
What series?
World Series.
World Series. What number was it? I worked. Let me see. Who? I can't remember the name, but I mean the number. But it was when the Dodgers went to the World Series. What was that? Probably 2000.
2020. I mean,
a little further back.
I'm sorry. 2017 or 18.
Sorry, not the Dodgers. I'm sorry. The Angels. Sorry.
Oh, the Angels. Okay, so they went to the World Series in 2006.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why the Angels were named to the Los Angeles Angels instead of the Anaheim Angels.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Because but that was their former name, and they were successful with that name. And once they changed it to Los Angeles, guess what? They went downhill ever since. So they may have to separate that. And look at the Dodgers right now. They got Ohtani. I mean, they have so many players on that team right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your favorite MLB stadium? The Angels or the Dodgers? I'd like to pick one.
I'd say Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 50,000 fans.
Yeah.
Can you saw the game 1 of the World Series last year?
I know. I didn't get to see it last year. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was out of the country, so I kind of missed out.
Yeah. Freddie Freeman, walk-off grand slam. Oh my God, that was amazing.
I know,
And,
amazing. I'm sure it was amazing.
and thank you very much for being the Yankees, the team who I always hate and forever hate in my that.
I don't hate
I
the
hate-
Yankees, but you know,
I'm a Red Sox fan, so that's why I hate the Yankees.
I hear you. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that then.
Yeah, I and also there's always fans at Yankee Stadium throwing stuff on the field. Did you saw that play with Mookie Betts where they tried to rip his arm out? That is
I
here
did.
as well.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
so that is why I hate the Yankees. Of that.
I get that. All right, I'm with you
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Did you ever get into hockey? Or-
Hockey a little bit, yeah. I mean, I've been to a few, a few, well, a few hockey games.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. But that's so much. My manager had some great seats, like right down by pretty much. It's like 3 or 4 rows right from the ice, I guess, and right near the door where the players, I guess, come in and out. That's kind of cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. When they slam up against the glass.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't been to hockey. It's funny because you're making me want to go. I haven't been to a hockey game in a minute, so that would be fun. Yeah, now I want to go.
Yeah. The playoffs though are amazing. They're amazing to watch. Like that, those 2 game sevens 2 weekends ago, or
Yeah.
whatever. That was amazing.
Yeah, really.
Do you have any memorabilia? Do you want to show us?
Oh, I wish you told me. I have to go
I
back.
can-
I've got, you know what? I've got a jersey from from an Angels jersey that
Mhm.
I should have. I wish I'd realized.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got
I
that.
can pause it. I can pause it if you want.
You're gonna pause it for a second. I can see
Yeah.
if I can find it. Okay.
All right, back and forth.
Okay. All
Let
right.
me see.
So here's what we got. We got an Angels jersey.
Okay.
Throw in a
No.
cover. He's on the back. Gloss.
Okay.
Put it there.
Cool.
And I've got a little bit different. I have a boxing glove.
Boxing glove.
Tyson.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. That was kind of a fun interview too.
That's very cool.
So yeah.
I never really watched boxing or wrestling, but I am familiar with Mike Tyson, so that's pretty cool.
Probably heard of him. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. That fight that happened with Logan Paul and whatever, or Jake Paul. I forgot.
You know, wasn't that crazy? The internet
Yeah.
pretty it went down pretty much.
Yeah.
Said a lot
It
of
was
people.
it was a scam. I think it was.
You think so? You know what? You might be right. That
Yeah.
is weird, isn't it? Yeah, I just know a lot of people were kicked off. I wasn't thrilled about it myself. So
Yeah. And plus, wasn't it on Netflix or something? Or I think it's on Netflix.
was it Netflix or you?
I don't-
It must have been. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
YouTube anyway. Yeah, but it's just. I mean,
A lot of people were having difficulties with the streaming on that as well. I heard too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and also the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I mean, that's another thing for the Cowboys right there. A lot.
Yeah.
So what do you think as for your favorite episode of Dear No Deal and Price is Right you've ever been a part of?
Favorite deal. There was one Deal or No Deal that we did, and it was just the contestant was just she was so sweet, actually. A woman who she had always kind of dreamt of being a Deal or No Deal model. And
I know what you mean.
so she we made her an honorary model. I think she came on like two episodes, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like it continued from one day into the next, basically. And so we got her an outfit like we were wearing that day. So that was kind of fun. It was just sweet, That was the best thing about game shows. I mean, it's fun to see. It's just fun seeing people win money, and you just sort of get so engaged with what they're doing, whether you know them or not, obviously. So yeah, that was probably my favorite Deal or No Deal episode. Price is Right. I'm trying to think. probably just an episode, or it's always fun to give away cars, that kind of thing, and just see how people react. And it's just infectious, just to see people when they're happy.
Yeah. So as for back to the Prices Right, those are actually my favorite game shows, but of all time. But as for Deal, it was I think one of my first game shows I ever watched. So I'm glad I was able to watch it on TV back then, and it's now on Game Show Network for repeats. So I'm happy that TSN was able to carry on airing Deal or No Deal. What other game shows growing up that you loved that got into game shows?
I mean, I like, gosh, do you remember what's it called? $100,000 Pyramid?
Yeah.
That? I liked that one. I really liked. I still really like Jeopardy. I'm not good at it, but I liked Jeopardy. Have you seen the what's it called? It's not Celebrity like Pop Culture Jeopardy or whatever it's called.
I've heard of it, but never seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm not good at that one. Like not even a little bit. This tells how old I am. There used to be one called something Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares. Yeah, I kind of remember. I kind of like remember that a little bit. I just like game shows. Period. I mean, I think it's just fun for people, and you can get your whole family or friends together, and it's just something that can take you away from, your daily life or whatever. So I can't think of, I can't think of anyone that I didn't particularly like. Oh, what's the one? It's kind of like a play on Plinko, the game on.
It's called The Wall.
That one. Yeah. I love that one.
Okay. Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
And that's and there's actually a new Plinko board game that actually just came out online out to it's pretty cool. It's on I forgot my website, but I'll have to show you. It's it's from Costco.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Do you have any games or board games as well at home, or
games your board? I just have Monopoly.
Okay. I used to be a game show, Monopoly Millionaires Club, I think.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. As for if you had to pick your favorite model for both price and deal, what model would that be?
Oh, okay. Let me think about that one. Favorite model from Deal or No Deal.
And Price is Right.
Probably Patricia Cara.
Okay.
Patricia
Yeah.
Cara. She was number 9, and she had been on She had been on the show, for a year when I started.
Yeah.
And she's just, she I think is the only model who has been on both the original Deal or No Deal as well as the follow. She's just the most wonderful, sweetest person ever in life. I mean, she's just a wonderful. I mean, what you see is what you get with Patricia. She's just a lovely person. So she's my favorite. On Price is Right. Let me think about that one. I mean, I kind of remember some of the older models, and just because when you're growing up as a kid and you just kind of idolize these people and they're just so bright and shiny and sparkly. I really liked Diane Parkinson years ago. Yeah, I think I'd go with Diane Parkinson and some of the originals. Yeah.
Yeah. And as for Patricia, she used to have number 8, which I found it interesting.
She did, yeah. Good memory.
I wonder why she switched it to 9, but
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe she was getting, like I said, it's the number is called more than any other statistically, so maybe she was getting called up there too. Maybe that was it. And maybe the other girls complained. I don't know. Or maybe people thought it was rigged or something. Who knows? But that could have been something like that.
Yeah. I actually did not know that used to be picked too much. I mean, that's kind of interesting. But it was done by a third party, which
Right.
can you tell us what that means, because maybe some people don't know what that.
Yeah, that basically means it's on the, I forget the accounting firm, but basically they essentially make sure that everything is on the up and up. Like I said, the models, we had no idea. The way they had it structured is the accounting firm kept all of the suitcases over and just like we'll say over in that area, and you didn't even get to go and touch those until right before you got in line to walk up the stairs and come down. So you'd walk out from the dressing rooms, you grab your suitcase and go straight to get ready for the show to start. So there was no so that there's no question of any impropriety, any cheating. So
it must have been very hard for you to not open your case and peek at it.
You definitely wanted to know.
Yeah.
For sure you wanted to know, but there's everything was kept very above board, so it was fair for everybody, and the accounting firm was not, it's a separate entity from the studio that produced the show. So
Would you love to see Dear No Deal back on TV again, or in the future?
It'd be nice to see it back for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's the 20th anniversary of Dear No Deal, so
Yeah, well, but they're doing it very differently now. You've seen it, there's the deal where you have.
Yeah, I know the original format of it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd love to see that again.
Yeah.
I would do it. I'd do it.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do a survival version of it. It's just that you have the thing about reality shows is that you have to keep up with it every single week in order. Like you cannot miss a week.
That's true.
It's just that, I mean, it was very cool to see. I saw a clip of Howie be the banker at the very end, but I just, it's very time consuming, and I just don't like that about reality shows. But
that's good for the ratings.
Yeah, it is. Every single week at 8 p.m. I mean, people have sports. I mean, yes, there's TPIR, but still, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to promote?
Well, I'm right now I'm working on a television show that Tyler Perry produces. It's called All the Queen's Men, and we're on. The show is sort of on a hiatus for about another month. They've done episodes 1 through 8 of season 3, and so we're getting. Season 4. And but on, I think it's the last week in June, they're going to start the second half of the season. So we'll say it starts on episode number 9, starting, I think it's June 25th. It's the last Thursday in June. So I would love for people to watch that. It's a really cool series. You'll get hooked in for sure. If you watch just 1 or 2 episodes, you'll get hooked in. And so now's the perfect time to watch because you can get all caught up before the end of June.
Okay, very cool. Well, that'll be it for this interview segment, and we'll be right back after this. Danny?
David, I don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
Oh, wait a minute. Go again.
Testing 1 2.
That's better. I'm sorry. There was a problem on my end.
I was going to say, what the heck?
Sorry about that, folks.
So,
that is true. He should have asked her to buy something. If I was there, I would have made sure that happened. But thank you again to Enya for taking time out of your day to speak with David. And we really enjoyed the interview. And we were glad to hear that she enjoyed the Wall, Hollywood Squares, and Pyramid, and so on.
I'll ask Chelsea, what do you think of the interview overall? Like what were your main points?
She's a well-accomplished she's an actress. She's also a sports model. Sports babe, as they call them back in the day. She's really accomplished.
Yeah, she has accomplished a lot time ago. In my correction, 2002 was when the Angels were. I keep getting distracted from my 2006. I don't know. There's something about 2006. I don't know. But it was actually 2002. The furthest ball I'd ever seen hit. I seen one. Anyway, we'll be on here for the next 10 minutes or so before the baseball segment. Danny, you have the floor. What do we want to talk about?
Well, we could talk about the Game Show Network broadcast archives.
You have TSN in your area, Justin?
Huh?
Yeah.
Pluto TV has Game Show Network, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they have a Game Show Central version of it, which shows a lot of their original programming from the last 15, 20 years. They have Baggage, which is hosted by Jerry Springer. I love that show. Then they have they might have Minute to Win It on there, the Apollo Ono version, and the 2011 version of Lingo. Not the one with Chuck Woolery that I like, but that's fine. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why you wanted to share the screen.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull up the page here. Okay.
Let me see what this is all about.
If you wanted to know what was on Game Show Network 20 years ago, here's what you could watch. 9 in the morning, there was a Match Game. They still show that. Then at 9:30, To Tell the Truth, then Family Feud with Richard Dawson, not Steve Harvey. They only show Steve Harvey Feud nowadays. And then Blockbusters with Bill Rafferty, then Password Plus, then the classic $100,000 Pyramid with Dick Clark, then Jeopardy, the 80s version of the Newlywed Game, which that version hasn't been seen anywhere since 2005 or 2006, I want to say. And then Love Connection, which was a dating type show that Chuck Woolery hosted for a long time. Then Super Password, Card Sharks with Bill Rafferty. Then Lingo, then Match Game, the 70s version. That's the one with CBS. Then Family Feud with Richard Dawson again. Then a Family Feud with Ray Combs. Then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Philbin. They're still showing that version, surprisingly. Although now it's more of a retro piece than anything, as opposed to during this time, it was like, hey, we're showing, relatively recent game shows like they do now with the ABC editions of Press Your Luck and Pyramid, but they were doing that back then with Millionaire. Then another acquisition they had was the old Comedy Central game show, Win Ben Stein's Money, hosted by Ben Stein and Jimmy Kimmel for a few years. Before Jimmy Kimmel had his late night talk show, he was the co-host of this show. And we found the episode which aired at this time. And we were able to detect it given commercials and research and so forth. So there's a picture of Ben Stein from that episode. Then Greed, which was a short-lived show on Fox hosted by Chuck Woolery, where a team of people would get together and sometimes eliminate each other. That was the show where we talked to Stu Showstack about it. And that show had a contestant, all with 100% confidence, claimed that Chuck Woolery did not host Wheel of Fortune, which we all know he did host Wheel of Fortune in the 70s.
Yes, he did.
Before Pat. And then Millionaire again. And then Dog Eat Dog, which was a short-lived show on NBC hosted by Brooke Burns, who is nowadays hosting Tic Tac Doe on Game Show Network. Yeah, Brooke Burns, yes, he's still on the network 20 years later, although hosting their original programs as in this time, Dog Eat Dog was just a show that GSN was taken from NBC.
Okay.
A stunt show. Yeah, I enjoyed Dog Eat Dog. I'm one of the few who did. Then Lingo again, Win Ben Stein Money again, then more Millionaire at Midnight. Late night GSN nowadays, it's all Steve Harvey Feud. I think Millionaire would be good in the midnight slot these days, but oh well. And then another show that was relatively recent at that time called Street Smarts, which was basically a show where people go out on the street and ask them dumb questions like, hey, who gave us the Statue of Liberty? And then people would say, the South or Texas or something like that. And you would have to basically predict what was true in that one. I haven't seen Street Smarts in quite a while. And then at 2 a.m, you could watch Match Game. Match Game PM in the AM. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Then and then at 3 a.m, they would show black and white game shows. So they would go back to the 1950s and show To Tell the Truth and What's My Lion.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff right there.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, okay.
I like this layout. This is cool.
Look at this over here.
Love Street Smarts. Yeah, that was a good show.
Green is still my number 3 favorite, and this is what I meant to point out.
Would be better than Jordan Little.
Jordan Little, you said?
Yeah, better Chris Jericho host Greed than Jordan. I'll say that.
Oh. Emo's number 2 favorite game show is Trivia Trap, apparently.
Trivia Trap. That's another show I haven't heard of in years, but that was another short-lived game which was hosted by Bob Eubank. And
Bob Eubanks.
yeah, we love Bob Eubanks from Newlywed Game and Card Sharks. I haven't watched Trivia Trap in years, so I'll have to do that again to refresh myself on how that game actually works.
I wonder why Emo's favorite is number 2 favorite anime, Trivia Trap.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Because there's many other popular game shows like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, etc. That are still
Oh, there we go. William Yasha said, I remember Chris Jericho hosted ABC's Downfall in 2010, I believe.
Yeah. But Danny, what year exactly did the daytime game shows got canceled on the regular networks?
They all kind of went away around 1990, 91.
Wow, I thought at some point in my life that there was some, wasn't Millionaire on daytime at one point?
In syndication it was, from 2002 to 2015, 16. I could be wrong, maybe later than that.
Yeah, that was it. That was.
We're talking like daytime network game shows right now. It's only The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal. It used to be a lot bigger than that, but they kind of went away in the late 80s to make room for soap opera and daytime talk shows and so forth.
Yeah. Scissor Challenge was the last network daytime game show to leave the air in 1995.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's funny few. Well, hey, you said Whammy is your favorite game show of all time. We all know that. Would Whammy work today, Danny? Would Whammy work today? I mean, I know
we have Press Your Luck today, but if they wanted to try Whammy, I guess they could bring back Todd Newton. I think he would do it.
Yeah, Max Kellerman.
Kellerman. Yeah, he was on ESPN. Was that?
I'm just glad you didn't ask the model about Bob Barker and how he was a little too nice towards the ladies at some points. But
no, I wouldn't do that. But dang, I switch it. Oh yeah. What about second chance? That game show.
You said Second Chance?
Yeah, the old Price of Luck pie.
Yeah. Press Your Luck was loosely based off Second Chance, created by the same guys, and but I think it's good that movie about Press Your Luck, The Luckiest Man in America, is coming out while the current ABC version is still going on. Although it would have been good for that to come out in 2003-4 when Whammy was still popular. Although GSN did get to cash in on that a little bit with their documentary about it, Big Bucks, the Press Your Luck scandal.
Yeah.
So,
Jesse, how did you get into game shows?
Huh? How did I what?
Get into game shows, because I know you watch game shows.
I watched. I used to grow up. I used to. There were times where my parents would, leave me at my grandparents' house, and that's all they would watch was game shows, and it was like during the day, Price is Right, and then at night in time, Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune. I had a cousin that was on the show a long time ago.
Yeah, you told me that before.
Yeah.
Was that on an international version, or was that somebody else who said that?
Jesse, Danny's talking to you about.
It was on the I think the national version.
Okay.
It's just hard to find the episodes.
Well, that's what the TSN archives is for, right?
Well, I don't know if they would have aired that particular season. They've only shown seasons. Well, they went through the first 5 for a while in the early days, and then they showed season 6 for about 3 years from 2001 to 2004, and then they showed season 12, and now they're showing like a mix of seasons from 2012 to 2020. Just random episodes, not all of them, but some of them.
Okay. Hey on, brother. How are you doing? Yeah, it's nice to have you on here. We're just talking about game shows right now because that is the theme of this episode apparently. Funny to see after school. GSN. I miss the old GSN. Because that was the good days. Up until 2012, 13 ish. That's when everything went away. So. And I hate the fact that GSN had those blue bars. That don't make sense at all.
Oh, they put up the blue bars on shows that weren't made in HD.
Yeah, which is
I
sad.
don't know why they can't just put up the black bars like every other network does. They have to fill in colored borders to fill in the black part of the screen. I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense at all, But actually, I would save the sports thing for you want to get the screen starts ready now, or for the two joke segments, or what it is.
You want to do the jokes now?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
All right. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is we have an interesting segment that I think you're all gonna enjoy, and that is well, let's just say Danny would like to tell the story.
Tell the story. I thought I was just telling jokes.
I mean, tell the story of the segment that we're doing, like of the jokes and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, on the show, Danny's Den, at the end of every episode, me and Sophie would take turns telling dumb jokes that I had found off the internet or some I had written myself. But the point is to make the other guys look bad while reading my awful jokes. So I think David would like to read one.
Well, I was gonna have you read all the jokes here, Danny.
I know. No, we'll take turns. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, David.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in the.
If it swears, I'm not gonna.
No, there's no swears. Okay.
Oh man.
David, read that joke.
Okay, I just got a promotional email saying Walgreens 7 Days of Beauty sale is ending tomorrow. Not to worry because next week begins their 90 Days of Ugly sale. Wow.
90 Days of Ugly sale.
Oh man.
Alright.
Yeah, that'll be on my next store. The next business that I'll be doing.
Let me give Jester one here. How do I?
It's in a private chat, Jersey, for you to read.
I don't know. I see it. More women are skipping college to make six figures as electricians, car mechanics, and truck drivers. Since men are too busy with podcasts, someone has to do real jobs.
I believe that.
Yes, because I mean, you don't want to be on podcast every single day, Just stop doing game show stuff on Discord. I mean, no offense. Just do it like only twice a week, not all 7 days a week.
Yeah, not every day. Not every day.
You don't have to stream on Twitch every single day. No.
All right. A woman was arrested at St. Louis International Airport this week after over 40 pounds of marijuana was found in her suitcases. I guess she thought TSA stood for Transport Sativa Anywhere.
He was like,
wow. Oh, Jesus.
We gotta get David to swear.
Gotta get David to swear. I've been trying.
It will have to take the day that the asteroid falls into Earth. Now, if let's say if the Red Sox lose Game 7 of the World Series, then maybe that might be interesting.
Oh, David, tell the joke about the one that you told on the Hangman Outcast that was from AI.
Oh, that one.
Why is there no Walmarts in the Middle East?
Why?
Why?
It's because they're all Targets. That is one of the most darkest jokes I've ever heard in my life. Good God.
I've heard worse ones than that.
Yeah.
Tell us one.
Oh
dare
no!
you.
Hold on.
Come on there, Danny.
Let's see. Okay. I think Jesse will like this joke.
Okay. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Everything else was made in China.
Wow.
Jordan's like, how could you, Jesse?
China, China. That's like 2020 was made because of China.
Okay.
I
Now,
mean,
sometimes just seeing the news writes the joke for me. So pay attention to this one. Now, this morning, Mr. Donald Trump wrote on his Truth Social or Twitter or whatever the hell it was. He suggested that Taylor Swift is no longer hot. Can you believe that? So Trump suggested that Taylor Swift is no longer hot. Well, don't feel bad, Taylor, because the best way to make Trump think you are hot is to become one of his dogs.
Randy.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
There was a couple different ways I could have went with that, but I'm like, what's the best sounding way? Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah, Danny, you hear this? I'm not a Swiftie, but you hear this?
Hey, I mean, he is the president. He can mess with who he wants to, but
unfortunately,
Taylor Swift, man. Hey, I like a few. I like a few of her songs, unironically.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Are you a Chiefs fan? Because of that, I'm really young.
No, I'm a Chiefs fan because I live in St. Louis, not because of Taylor Swift. But
Hey, William.
Hey, William, how are you? Hope you're doing well this evening. Oh,
who else is? Oh God.
Who the heck is this?
It's the blackest man in the panel back again, Cracker. What you doing here?
Danny has some dark jokes whatever jokes Danny has for us. So Danny, please.
Shit, they better be as black as my skin.
All right, Danny, take it away.
A man in Mississippi has been arrested and charged with a dog. At least we know he'll be getting plenty doggy style where he's going.
Oh, that's pretty good, Cracker.
Thank you.
Okay. Continue to make me laugh.
Yes, Danny. We got the next one. We'll just do this for how long we can do it.
Wait, what?
Keep on doing those jokes for however long we can do it for.
Okay.
This is a good segment. We're getting interaction.
So I get bored and I'm going to go black on your monkey ass.
Okay.
Yeah, I stood that on LeBron James. Wait, what?
LeBron James hairline, yeah.
What the fuck did you say about LeBron James? To go get the fuck out of here, Cracker. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm a fan of LeBron James, all right?
Hey, Dragon. You're a Chinese fan?
Some people, here's another joke. Some people say their wedding day was the best day of their lives. Well, I'm guessing they've never had 2 candy bars fall out of a vending machine at the same time.
That's actually,
That's not really dark.
Not that good, but
all right. Have one for Mr. Back me on the panel.
No, it's the blackest man on the panel.
That's what I said.
They said black man on the panel. I'm the blackest. Get it right, Cracker.
Oh.
Shut up, man. You know that, man. So show your face.
Shut the fuck up, man. Who the fuck are you, man?
Motherfucker, start acting like what you're not.
All right.
You can't see me.
I'm putting it in the private chat. Hold on.
Oh, I can see you. You as white as the fucking David, the devil himself.
I don't know what you talking about. I'm all black. No
Well,
what?
I'm gonna come over there and slap the sense out of you for being a fucking fraud.
Are you gonna slap the black off me?
If that's the case, hell yeah, I'll slap the humanity off of you if you don't act like a stupid smart person.
Okay, Charlie, I want you to read this joke that we're putting on the.
Wait. Danny, who's Charlie?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Black man in the panel.
The blackest man on the panel. I will be treated with respect.
Okay. All right, now
What's my name again?
Blackest man on the panel.
Yeah, you bet your ass, cracker. Black Lives Matter in this bitch.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, now read what I put on the private chat.
A list of the world's top 25 amusement parks was released this week, with Disney's Magic Kingdom coming in number 1. Coming in number 22 is Brandon Martin's Sex Emporium.
I'd hate to be at that place, I'll tell you that.
Man. All right, then you have one for me to read out.
Okay.
And then we'll do Chelsea and then Dragon.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh boy. The Celtics are done. I am not in that good. What's up, Emo? I'm not sure why you said that, but yeah, the Celtics.
Oh, this I like this one. Okay, David, take that one.
Okay. Oh, what did Charlie? Oh, Vladimir.
Come on, David.
Vladimir Putin has released a event calendar. Every time you open a window, someone falls out.
Yeah.
Wow.
God damn it, Mrs. Blackest man on the panel again. Anyway.
Hey, sorry.
What's up, everybody?
Doing good. I have a joke that I'm writing down here. Vladimir Putin has released an event calendar. Every time you open a window, someone falls out.
Oh, David, that's fucked up. You going to hell, man.
Well, Danny's the one who wrote that joke. I'm not responsible.
No,
Can you say that? Hey, no, Jay. Can you say that in your reptile voice?
Reptile.
Am I what?
Say that in your reptile voice.
Reptile?
Voice.
Reptile.
Vladimir Putin released an advert calendar. Every time you open a window, someone falls out. Like, seriously.
Okay, Jesse, try this joke.
Okay. Casino Royale was definitely based in Europe. If it were in the US, it would have been called Casino Quarter Pounder with Cheese.
Yeah.
Wow. By the way, Cheez-Its are good.
Tom, you were 2 days late on that joke. Yeah, you're too late.
Targets.
Yeah, you're too late on the joke. AI Jordan beat you to it.
Yes.
Hey, Jordy. Chayton. Looks like someone trying to steal your ideas.
What the fuck? Don't give me the call the blackest man panel. He doesn't like when people are misrepresenting other people.
Oh my god, you created your freaking other alternative ego, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about. The blackest man on the panel, you saw it. He comes in, he doesn't show his face because he's just so black you couldn't handle it.
Man, I'm gonna punch you for being
Okay, Dragon, we have a joke for you to read now. I'll put it in the
I agree, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Dragon, try that joke.
I think my doctor might be retarded. His name is Dr. Retardo. What the fuck?
Oh my god, that's great. You gotta love these jokes. This good stuff.
All right, I got one more. Okay.
Oh, one more? Okay.
Let me tell you. There are 10 reasons why I hate clickbait. And number 7 will shock you.
That was it?
you see click with it say what this person said will shock you. You know, they want you to click on it. Meanwhile, it's
No, I don't get it. That was a horrible joke. Get out of here.
Sure, you're not black.
okay.
Please take it back.
Yeah, you're as white as freaking David. In fact, might be whiter.
I am white. Like again, I don't know why people are thinking the blackest man in the panel and me are the same people. I don't know what they like.
Yeah, you're
yeah.
so bipolar.
Guys.
Fuck.
Guys,
No
yeah,
wonder-
special guest. Hi, Tony.
Oh man, I love Courtney. She's a hilarious person. The stream was so funny.
David, I was about to. I was going to ask if you want me to call him because I could call him right now. You want me to call him on the?
I got it. Hey, Tony, I have a question. What do you think of the Hangout cast from last Wednesday?
Last Wednesday? You mean the hangout? I thought it was pretty fun. What did you think of it?
The Hangout cast was an A++. What is your grade?
A++. Honestly, that hangout last week was absolutely wild and really fun. So many iconic moments in there, and it was just funny overall.
Charlie, ask him a question. Charlie has a question for you.
Does he like it in the butt? Ask him that.
Oh my god.
Well, now that's hilarious, bro. I have no idea though. Maybe you should ask if he does or not.
Danny, ask a
You
question.
good, bro?
Danny, ask a question.
Wait,
I'm not-
Jordan, go
Yeah.
dumb.
Hey, Jordy, do you think I have the secrets of AI 24/7?
Oh yeah, I remember when you said that. I remember thinking it was hilarious because I wasn't really sure what you were trying to say, lol.
No. How come you say no? How come you say no instead of ha 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 ha?
Oh, because I thought you were trying to ask a serious question at first. So I kind of just went with it and didn't know how to respond. So I just said no, lol.
Okay, but I have a serious question for you. What do you think about Donald J. Trump being the president of the United States?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of him, but I do find his personality and the stuff he says to be really funny. I think his
Oh my God! Exposed.
honestly, I don't know if I'd say I'd want him as the president, but I'll say this. He's a really entertaining guy.
What about Joe Biden?
Well, I'm not really a huge fan of his either. I guess you could say that I kind of hate both of them. Joe has an absolute mess of dementia, and Trump is so egotistical and arrogant. Honestly, neither of them are good people. Trump is just more entertaining than Biden will ever be.
I approve. Did you have any crushes on presidents in the past?
Well, no, not that I can think of. I guess I'd say Obama was a pretty charismatic guy, and he was a good president. He made his mistakes, but overall, I'd say he did a decent job.
Okay. Dragon, you have a question?
Yes. Ask him this question. Why does he have a crush on Chayton?
Okay. Why do you have a crush on Charlie?
What do you mean? What is a cross-armatory?
What? I said, why do you have a crush on Charlie?
Oh, bro, Tori is beautiful. She's fun as fuck, dude.
I can't understand it.
Okay. Ask him this. Does he have feelings for Chayton?
Lamau, bro, that stream last night was so funny.
What?
With you and Kathan was hilarious.
Okay. Ask Jordy.
I'll ask him.
Wait, Dave, before you go,
Yeah.
I literally had an epiphany. I was actually talking about this. Who was I talking about this to? Oh, I was talking about this, I think, with Dan earlier. So David,
Yes.
if you are Jesus, then that would make Tom God. You remember, David, the voice of God?
So, Charlie, I've been being told if I was Jesus, would Tom Willis be God? Is that true?
Good question. I'm not really sure, TBE. I guess if you were Jesus, then whatever you did would be considered godly, even if that's talking on Tumblr. So I'm going to say yes.
What we're gonna say after that? He says continue.
I'm sorry. I don't think I quite get what you're saying. Could you say that again?
Shut up.
All right. Goodbye.
Oh damn!
Okay, that's
David,
it.
David, you can never do AI calls because again, your voice is not meant for this world.
What? Do you want to do one, Charlie?
Yes, I can do one right now. Actually, give me a second. Where is it?
AI David.
Yeah, that'll be. I don't know.
I don't have David yet, unfortunately. I'm gonna be getting everything ready. However, one second. All right, give me a second. Wait, where am I at? Oh, that's right. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. Put an overlay over us.
Okay, I will do that in a 3, 2, 1.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll let you know when bring it back. All right, do it.
Here's the engine.
Oh, shoot.
There we go. Don't share screen or just slower. Keep it as is. All right.
Yeah.
Keep it as is. All right, thank you.
Who can it be?
Hello.
Man, you just can't get enough. What do you want?
Do you think Jordan is a bitch?
Finish it at least.
Do you think Jordan is a bitch?
Well, of course he is. He's one of the biggest bitches ever, especially in person.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You're telling me I had to spend an entire event with him. I've never been so annoyed with one dude before.
Ask him what the event was.
That actually sounds like another Molefoco. Anyway, what was the event?
It was an airsoft event, though it was not fun anymore when Jordan showed up.
The fuck? Airsoft? All right, anyway. Let's see. What do you think of David 3000? Is he a bitch?
No, he's quite the opposite. He's a really cool and funny guy. One of my closest and oldest friends.
That's not what I heard last night. You said he was a bitch.
Who knows? Maybe he's actually a really good actor and good at hiding it. But from all my interactions with him, he's been really cool.
Do you think David is Jesus?
Nah, man, he's actually the second coming of Satan. And by that I mean he's cool and super funny.
David will,
Oh my God.
So you think David will cause the apocalypse?
What?
I hope he doesn't vote. I pray to God he never gets involved in politics. Though I wouldn't doubt if he could cause an apocalypse. He probably could.
When do you think he'll lose his virginity?
He said he's got a GF at the moment, so I don't know, really could have already happened.
What, David? You have a girlfriend already? What's his name? Anyway.
I thought it was Captain Morgan. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Morgan? Oh, okay,
No.
you're bigger now. Yeah, I told you I corrupted your poor virgin mind. Anyway.
Shut up.
What do you think of Danny Lewis's Redbubble?
The designs look terrible. So the one that says I love Che, I admit, is a cute design idea.
Oh, wow. Do you think his prices are too much?
Yeah, they're kind of expensive. But I mean, they have to cost that much to compensate for how bad the designs are.
Wow.
Any of your thoughts?
That's fair.
All right. Ask him. What is his favorite thing about the Hangman Outcast?
What's your favorite thing about the Hangman Outcast?
It's always been a very funny podcast. I always love listening to it and how we all just riff and joke with each other.
Is it really a podcast though, or is it just that's just my?
Do you think chilling with Jordy sucks?
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. I can never have a nice time when I have to be around that loser.
Whoa.
Can you tell us a dark joke?
Oh no.
Why did the girl fall off the swing? Because she had no arms.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
All right. Let's see if this is truly me. How many women have you slept with?
Not too many. I mean, it varies from the numbers of women I've met versus the numbers of women who found me attractive. Though the real number is something I'll keep to myself. Though I have been on a bit of a dry spell ever since Dramatic Pause, my divorce.
Wow.
Oh. Anyway, let's see. What were you gonna say, Dragon?
You ever try? Can you update your AI and add more information?
I could probably. Well, since cat's out of the message, Tom created that one. I don't know. I should be able to create, edit it still. Tom can.
Hey, how do I add voice? Like your own unique voice for the character.
Just like I told you, you just create, get a audio file of at least 10 to 15 seconds minimum, and then you after you add the characteristics.
What if I found like a clip with like 8 minutes of audio? Is that okay?
I'm not sure. I'll probably go with a minute. If you could trim it down to a minute, that'll probably be best.
Jesse, you have a question for the AI, Charlie?
Nah.
Oh man. Okay,
David, you have a question? Because then I'm gonna hang up with him in a minute.
Yeah. What did you think about that final save video from Jordan Scout?
No, why you gotta come up with those? Like you're starting to sound like.
Let me see this.
Starting to sound like a motherfucker. And you left, and Dragon left. See what you did, you little bitch.
Man.
Anyway,
well, this is last.
I'll say. How many girls do you think David has slept with?
I mean, it's an impossible question to answer, though I'd say more than me. But I will say, even though I'm the GOAT, I have lost that number contest with him a few times. Though I don't let it get to me, I still remain the GOAT.
2 for 99. 2 for 99. 2 for 99.
Already on it. Have a great day.
2 for 99. 2 for
99.
You missed it. You missed that. I told him go fuck yourself, and he's like already at it. Well, let me see if I can do it again. Well, go fuck yourself and have a great day.
Match game coming to the Game Show Fan 2001 channel later this summer.
All right, there you go, David. That'll be $25.95 for the
29.
And don't forget to buy something from Redbubble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Redbubble.
Yeah, Jesse, they sent me that voice message you sent of impersonating me. I'm like, that's good.
Oh, that reminds me. So apparently, I got a scam phone number of somebody saying a cartoon character of Arthur. So, from the TV show Arthur. So I'm gonna call.
Oh, was it a lion?
Someone to call?
Is it from the UK?
I don't know. I'm gonna see right now. I'm gonna put on
The
speaker.
reach is no longer in service.
Oh, it's disability. Must have covered it then this month.
Yeah, I thought for sure that something was gonna happen. But
It would have It would have made. It would have made that's part. Yeah, Tom's on to something. That's probably why. That's probably why Dragon left, because he's starting to create some banger AI stuff. Anyway, my point is though is that it would be that person, David, because the spelling from what you showed me, the spelling.
Yeah.
So, how dare he hack in? How dare that person who we will not name hack into your phone, get your number, and then text you and think you're Arthur?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I was just getting ready to watch the Red Sox, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh, who's this?"
I know. Because he had sent you a dick pic, although it wouldn't have been much, it would have been underneath a lot flat.
No, a certain game show server already experienced that, but I won't say what.
Is one dick in the box?
No.
I remember that. Yeah, that was we did that trial of him almost 5 years ago. Charlie was there too.
Yeah, we won't say the name, but it's in the archives.
Oh yeah, it's the one that David put me on trial twice, and the motherfucker could not fucking convict me. That's how you know he is the worst trial host of all time.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna get going because I gotta go. I'm gonna go take care of some stuff. I've got to be on for this episode and all that. Hopefully, I get to interact with the blackest man on the panel soon. But nonetheless, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
See ya.
Maybe we could get an AI Danny too, or
this is right.
Or an AI Tom.
I'd be too scared to have an AI me, but
or AI David.
AI David would be fun. Is David muted for you?
Yeah, David's muted for me.
Okay. He's got to call Arthur. Oh, okay. What the fuck? Well, anyway. Yes, we're at episode 175, which I'm surprised because when David started the show, I didn't think he had a chance of getting 5 episodes. So congratulations, David, for making it this far. And he always tells me that we're planning to make it to 200, and we plan on making it that by the end of this year. And I'm glad we went from twice a week to once a week.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
better.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
I don't know what.
Okay, I heard the Dag Nabbit part, but
Dag Nabbit.
Dag Nabbit. Oh no.
His internet is.
For some reason it was my browser that. There we go. I go. For some reason my browser disconnected my microphone. I don't know how that happened.
Oh no. What the hell happened here?
Oh shit! Oh,
Charlie, did you do this? Did you ruin his microphone?
So that was the greatest trick I have ever pulled in my life. Now, David.
What?
There you go. I adjusted your mic settings. I found a way to mute you without you knowing. So now if I move on the stream, I can fuck with you without you even knowing. Anyway. Oh shit. Like your computer was fine. I just fuck.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! Two different angles.
Stephen A. Smith is here.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephen A. Smith. Want to drop by to rest my boy David St. Dennis, the man of the future. Congratulations on making 175 episodes of your show. Obviously, I joined at a time when there's technical difficulties.
Oh, my belly.
This is bull crap. I hate it and I don't like it.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a good clip I'm gonna make right now. I'm gonna post it or in the group chat. Anyway, guys, I'm out here for real this time.
When are you gonna die?
I'm out here for real this time. Anyway, y'all take care.
He wasn't even here.
Now that is good fun, I'll tell you.
He wasn't even here, and I swear to Jesus Christ, God, whoever, I literally seen him not backstage, and my microphone went. What the?
I wonder how he did that.
Yeah, and my reaction was,
I had no idea you were so full of hoe. I really didn't.
Gary's Bob Barker, so.
Yeah. I'm upset that I missed Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my God.
You got evil laughing.
Of course.
I'm trying to get a little bit of a headache now. Thanks to guys so much. I'm gonna play a baseball segment right now because I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache after all that laughing.
Okay.
Man, I really hope I'm not getting sick, but oh my God, I laughed so hard. Okay, we'll be right back after this baseball segment.
Welcome to another weekly baseball rundown. I am Eric Lima of the Red Sox, representing the Red Sox. How y'all doing? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is the 15th of May, 2025, 10 p.m. Let's go talk to the panel here. Run down the panel. We got representing the Chicago Cubs, the North Side. We're talking about Mr. Josh Salisbury.
Good evening, sir.
And how you doing, Josh? I hope you're doing great.
Doing well.
And then representing the Houston Astros, and one of my good buddies that we did the original baseball rundowns with, Mr. Jesse Ortiz, Jester and James.
How y'all doing?
And representing the White Sox is Brandon DeJesus, but he's away from the keyboard for right now. We'll get to him. And representing the world champ Los Angeles Dodgers, and the other team, Seattle Mariners, Mr. Johnny Garfield. What's going on?
I'm repping I-5, I tell you.
I'll tell you one thing right now. Your Mariners, man, are on fire. I'll tell you. We'll get to that in just a moment. We got a couple of – let's get going. We got a couple of news. There he is. There he is, Mr. Brandon DeJesus, representing the South Side, the White Sox. How you doing there, Brandon?
All right, guys. I'm back. I'm good.
Yeah, all right. You doing good? All right. Now we got the formalities out of the way. Let's get going on the baseball news. Rich Hill is going to the Royals, and that's going to really boost the Royals up because the Royals are really doing very well, despite the fact I'll talk about when the Red Sox face them in my team report. Also, Evan Longoria is retiring from baseball. One of the best players ever in the early 2000s and stuff. And I'll tell you one thing. Is that it's sad he didn't win a World Series ring. He deserves to have a World Series championship. But anyways, and also we have the AL Central is no joke right now, because if the playoffs happen today, they would hold 4 playoff spots. because it's the Tigers. The Tigers are in first place in the Central, and I will get to them because they played my Red Sox this past week. Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota. Unbelievable. This ain't no AL Comedy Central, so that's for sure. And possibly the biggest hot topic, baseball, to come out of this week, which I was kind of shocked this even happened. We thought this would happen. Pete Rose, Joe Jackson are Hall of Fame eligible after they lifted the ban on. Yeah, that's a huge deal. I want to know what y'all think about that. I mean,
I just think they should have done it before Pete Rose passed away.
A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that.
It's a shame that he has to possibly go into the Hall of Fame, not being alive anymore. It's sad.
Yeah, I know. What do you three think as well?
Well, with the way sports gambling is today, this should have been done. I agree, a long time ago. I mean, he, for lack of a better term, he learned his lesson. And with all the sports gambling going on in every sport, why did it take so long?
Yeah,
I have a potentially, how do I say this, controversial take ahead. But the way I see it, I think Pete does deserve to go in spite of all the flaws that he had. I mean, the way I see it, gambling, well, compared to, say, steroid use is nothing, considering he was a very competitive guy. He had a win-at-all-costs mindset. He wasn't affecting his play on the field or his managerial skills, but with steroids, that's another story.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. So, Brandon, do you have anything else to say on it?
On Pete Rose?
Yeah, on this situation, Pete Rose.
I'm angry because I really felt that, Bud Selig, or even worse, Rob Manfred, should have forgiven him sooner. He absolutely should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He is arguably the greatest hitter in the history of baseball. And now, if he's going to get in, we don't know. It's not a guarantee that he's still going to get into the Hall of Fame, but now he's going to be in there posthumously, and that's never the way it should have happened.
Yeah, I know, I understand. And a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that he should have been in sooner. He should have been in while he's alive. And I agree with that, but, I don't know what took MLB so long to do that decision, but that's them. I think they're kind of afraid that, people will be angry and all that, and a lot of controversy behind the decision. But it is what it is. They finally got him unbanned off the ban list. So there's that. We'll see what happens down the road. We'll see when the next Hall of Fame voting comes in. Now it's time to go to our individual teams, and we'll start off Josh Salisbury. I'll go last as usual. So what's going on to the north side?
Well, the North Siders, they won their series against who did we just get? Miami. I still call them the Florida Marlins. We had a little trouble with the New York Mets, which, with Mets being one of the hotter teams in baseball right now, if any of y'all saw the games, we won one of those games, and the next two, they were just teeing off us, is the better way to put it. They were hitting home runs like every other batter, and I had to actually stop watching it at one point. I'm like, this is crazy. And I still think we're having a little trouble with our bullpen, because we're having to dive deeper into that bullpen. And now we have Ian Happ out on the injured list with a strained oblique. And I really think these players need to start conditioning a little bit better. Not just the Cubs players, but you could avoid that stuff by just conditioning. So it's the little things are coming back to bite them in the butt, and they got to fix it. Yeah, they're winning series, but I don't think that's enough. You're at the top of the division. You want to stay there, and little mistakes are going to cost you in the end, especially against a team like the New York Mets.
All right, so that's it for the Cubbies. And for the Astros, Jesse, what you got for us?
Well, for one thing, the Astros, they had a I don't know if you remember, that big horrible game that Lance McCullers had against the Reds, which caused him to get death threats, and that I don't condone. I mean, you don't see Spurs fans, giving Greg Popovich death threats because he's no longer going to coach the team next year in the NBA. But I just think these fans should cool it down. I mean, he's human, at the end of the day. These athletes, basically put their bodies on the line, especially pitchers, because you never know when a ball's going to crack them upside the head or any part of their body, especially for the batters too. But the Astros have been, they won the first 2 games against the Reds, and then they had that almost blowout loss to the Reds, and then they beat the Royals 7-5, and they lost, and they beat the Royals 2-1, and they pretty much swept the Royals. Right now, they lost just now. They just lost to the Texas Rangers, who are no longer at the top of the division. That goes to the Mariners. Wow, the Texas Rangers have fallen to 3rd place. The Athletics almost dead even, and the Angels, well, they're 17-25. But the American League West is open for business, and teams are going to be vying for some playoff spots come October. No, come September, But that's it for my report.
All right. Okay, let's go to Brandon Jesus and the Southsiders, the White Sox. What them boys up to, Brandon?
Yeah, so we just came off a 3-game set against the Reds. We lost today 7-1, but the good news is rather that we won our first road series of the year. We ended up taking 2 out of 3 from the Reds, who I think is a team that, could be sneaky good. I think they could maybe sneak into a wild card. They got Terry Francona as their manager. They got a lot of really talented players. They got some good pitching, really good bullpen. And yes, let's go Pope. Ever since the new Pope was elected, the Sox are now 4-2. And of course, it came out on the internet, him being at Game 2 of the 2005 World Series. And just very happy about knowing that he's a Sox fan, and all the news about him being the Pope from the city of Chicago. But now we are going into this weekend. The Crosstown Classic begins. All 3 games this weekend at 1:20 at Wrigley Field. The Sox will be taking on the Cubs, and then we come home for 6 games playing the AL West. We got the Mariners for 3, and then we got the Rangers for 3, and we're sitting right now at 14-30. Which, hey, it's better than the Rockies, and that's all I can ask for.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's a little divine intervention to get the White Sox going, shall we say. Pope Leo coming to the rescue of the Southsiders. Thank you for that report, Brandon. Johnny Garfield, Johnny G, what's going on with the world champs and the Seattle Mariners?
Oh, my goodness. First, the Mariners. Oh, my goodness gracious. This past week was just very, very crazy. They went up against the Blue Jays and the Yankees and lost both series. They lost the first 2 games of the Blue Jays series by the same score, 6-3, and then 9-1. And then everything just went to pot against the Yankees, Although they did win Game 2 of the Yankees series, it's just that the third and final game of that one ended out in a heartbreaker. So they're going to be on the road for a little while, starting in San Diego. Their rivalry has a name, the Eddie Vedder Cup. Then it's on to the White Sox in Houston. And now for the Dodgers. Well, Kershaw's back. That's the good news. I mean, he'll be back on Saturday, and for many Dodger fans, it's going to be like, he's a sight for sore eyes lately. Their pitching has been kind of had their share of difficulties with the injuries and all. Shohei's pitching rehab has not gone as well as it should, although he's doing pretty well at the plate. The guy who so far has weathered the storm amongst the pitching rotation is Yamamoto. Hopefully, the return of Kershaw will shore up these things for the Dodgers. I mean, looking at the Mariners and the Dodgers, they have one thing in common thus far. Their pitching staff has seen lots of injuries ravaged to them. And I will add this, given how things have been in the American League West, it's safe to say that that division is very much up for grabs this year.
Yeah, I checked the standings of that one. Half game ahead of the Rangers. So Rangers they were World Series champ before, so getting dangerously close. So, and the Dodgers, I know they've been winning the storm, but they're the Dodgers that are defending World Series champs.
Oh yeah.
So when you're a title holder, you got a target on your back.
Indeed.
I know this because my Celtics are having targets on their backs right now against the Knicks, but we're talking baseball, not basketball. But you get the idea. Speaking of Boston teams, I'll go for my. Is that it for your report for the Dodgers and Mariners there, Johnny G?
Yep, that concludes.
Okay, then I will get flowing with my team, the Red Sox. Well, after shutting out the Rangers 5-0 last week, and then you talk about the Royals, who've been a hot team, one of the teams in series contention for the wild card spot that the playoffs happen today. Royals beat the Red Sox on a walk-off, and the Red Sox bats came alive in Saturday, May the 10th, 10-1, then 3-1, and then we ran into a buzzsaw called the Detroit Tigers. How much of a buzzsaw we run into? Well, the first couple of games in the series, they outscored the Red Sox 24-11, 14-2, mollywopping, and then you got 10-9, and then the Tigers won on a walk-off in yesterday's game, and I gotta say, but I think only the one crazy highlight was the Wilyer Abreu Sadan Rafaela combined catch, which was totally crazy. And a lot of people are calling for Alex Cora's head for not bringing in Liam Hendricks for one of the games, probably yesterday's game, but he did come into the game, but unfortunately it was a little too late. So right now the Red Sox are still in second place. I believe, but they're a game under 500, but they're 4 games out of first. And who we got next? Well, Red Sox coming back to Fenway, homestand against an interleague play. The Atlanta Braves and the Mets are coming into town for a 6-game homestand. Well, actually, a 10-game homestand because the Orioles will be coming in also for 4-gamer. And then they're going back on the road to end May and start June against the Brewers, the Braves once again. And then starting June, the short 3-game homestand against the Angels, and then going back on the road against the Yankees for the very first time. So I'm going to be very interested to see what's going to happen. Okay, now we're looking at the weekly rival rundown. What series should we look at for the MLB Rivals weekend schedule?
The Subway Series? I don't know.
Subway Series? Yeah, it could be. Subway Series, huh? We got interleague play, Nationals and Orioles. Interleague play against the Braves. Can't wait for that series. I mean, the Braves are not doing very well. Chris Sale has been shelled, I think, and all that good stuff. So, Angels Dodgers. That's another one. Oh, let's see. Mariners and Padres. That's going to be a heck of a fight, a heck of a battle. 2 Twins and Brewers, of course. Brewers always. Cardinals, Royals, Nationals, Royals, Phillies, Pirates, Pennsylvania battle. Then you got the Chicago battle. Brandon and Josh, you guys gonna have a lot to talk about over the weekend.
It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top because both teams are doing remarkably well at this point.
Yeah. We got the Cardinals and Reds, Battle of Ohio, and Battle of Texas, Astros, Rangers, Jesse. You're looking at that.
Yeah.
And we got, like I said, Johnny Garfield's 2 teams going at it. And, Athletics and Giants, usually battled by the Battle of the Bay. We're back to World Series 1989. So.
This kind of sort of reminds me of what interleague play used to be like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Battle of the Bay. So, other than Johnny, let's see. Like I said, Red Sox, Braves. We're looking at a lot of state battles. That's for sure. Battles of states. You got Rockies and Diamondbacks. Battle of expansion teams there. I don't know. This ought to be interesting for sure. What do you think, Jesse?
I'm definitely going to be watching tomorrow, or whenever the Astros play again.
The Astros are playing against the Rangers.
Yeah, right now they lost, but I'm hoping they can bounce back next game.
Okay, and I know Brandon and Josh will watch the Chicago series. That's for sure.
Definitely.
And,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know, Johnny will be keeping an eye on the Dodgers, Angels, and Mariners, Padres.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the Red Sox Braves. I love the interleague play. Interleague play is my favorite thing. Watching the national.
It used to be fun when the Astros were in the National League, and then the Texas Rangers were still in the West.
Yeah,
when they weren't conference. I think it makes it more better now that they're in the same conference.
Yeah. We'll see what our teams can do. I know, some of our teams. I know the Red Sox are Jekyll and hiding on me a little bit, as far as winning and losing, and then everybody complains about Alex Coronel. That we'll see what happens. I know, like I said, it's going to be. Like I said, this baseball season is going to be very interesting. Looks like everything's up in the air at the moment. Right now, well, it is time. It's 10:30, so I think it's time for us to sign off. So I want to thank Johnny Garfield, Jesse Ortiz, Josh, and Brendan DeJesus for coming in today to talk. We'll talk some baseball. I want to thank David St. Dennis for once again directing this, and we will. And this is Eric Lima signing off, and hopefully you hit one over the green monster for a homer. I'll see you later, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed night. Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Good night.
All right, that is that with that baseball segment right now. Thank you to Mr. Eric Lima for hosting that for this week, which I needed because before I played this video, I was getting a little bit of a headache, so I need to recover.
I bet you were.
Of that laughter that was just witnessed. But Danny, overall, what did you think of this episode here so far?
That's good so far. It's living up to the hype of going to. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but I said congratulations to David for making it to 175 episodes, because when you first started the show, I didn't think you'd make it to 5 episodes. So
yeah, that's what I thought of when you started off doing Danny's Stand back in 2020 something.
that's right. Yeah, we started it in 22 with me and Paige and AJ, and then we took a break for a while and then brought it back with Sophie. So we might bring it back next year, but I got to focus on other projects right now.
We'll see. But thank God for me giving me the idea for having the baseball stuff on this, so that way I could take a break from all that after.
Right.
It's gonna happen once in a while. It's what it is. And I was thinking once again for doing that interview for this episode today, because I want to do something special for you all for episode 175, and I continue to do that for more episodes to come, as we are on the road to not only 200 episodes, but 2,000 subscribers that we're trying to get to as well by the end of the year.
Yes.
So let's see what happens. Imagine if we get both of those two goals at the same time. Imagine that.
That'll be good. Hopefully we can get to 2,000 subscribers before then, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm going to say is that during the summer, we are going to take a few weeks off from this program, like at least 3 or so. I'll have to take a look at my summer schedule, but it is what it is. I know people can say I can, record some stuff in advance for it to still go out, but we only have a break once in a while. Others can fill in.
Right.
Like, for example, a breaking in the chains can fill in, or open house can fill in. One of those two for Friday night is concerned, around this time of night. And also, the summer schedule for this network will be releasing this upcoming Memorial Day. So if anybody has a show that they want to host on this program, just let me know by Memorial Day, and I'll announce it for you on that video as concerned. But anyway, as I get something situated here, Danny, tell us what your life has been as of late. I know you've been working, but have you told us here on the year about your new job or no?
Well, my new job is at a call center. So instead of checking people out at the checkout counter all day and standing up, I get to sit down at the desk and talk on the phone with a headset all day.
Yeah. And with that, does that make you feel weaker, to be honest, because all you're doing is not having a lot of...
No, I think it makes me feel less tired because usually by the end of a shift at the old job, I'd be exhausted and not feeling like doing anything. But rather, I'm at the end of a day at the current job, I actually feel like doing more. So what I
that is one of my goals, is that I personally, I just don't want to get a job that I will get tired and just basically say, I'm just going to do anything. Like you said. Hi, John, how you doing? Oh, I thought it was something else. Trying to tell one of the co-hosts of the fantasy, not the fantasy, or is he? Probably. Oh yeah, he is part of that. Okay, fantasy football fever and the all that good stuff. Sorry, I was thinking about that, so I lost track because of all that after I was doing earlier. But that will go down as a memorable moment.
Just like that time where you fell out of your chair on the ground about 3.5 years ago. Remember that?
Yeah, but this will not. I mean, it's not going to top that, but this will definitely be up there.
Yeah.
But man, I really hope I'm not getting a real headache from that because I'm starting to feel it. So yeah, my goal is to hopefully get a job that is remotely, so that way I can still go on vacations. Because here's the thing. Here's me at the interview chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes this boss saying, you only have 2 vacation weeks that you can do all year round. Wait, what? Only 2 vacation weeks? Are you kidding me? I work for Europe, but 24/7, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and you only give me 2 vacation weeks.
Do you go on vacation a lot or something?
What's that?
What, do you go on vacation multiple times a year?
I would easily take at least 4 vacation weeks. 4. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Isn't that fair?
A little bit. You may have to persuade them.
Winter, spring, summer, fall. I mean, schools have multiple long weekends.
I usually take 1 vacation. I mean, I probably should take more, but the one time I go out of town is usually me and mom and dad go to the lake for a week in August.
I hate the month of August.
Yeah.
I hate the month of August because it's a sign of the summer is ending, and now I have to hear about the Patriots on the radio every single goddamn week about something horrible, and I end up going back to school, which I plan not to do.
Speaking of Patriots, I think you wanted my original punchline for that Donald Trump Taylor Swift joke was going to be the original punchline was going to be that the reason why he found out Taylor Swift isn't hot is because he asked his good friend Bill Belichick.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know where you were going now, but I'm just like, wait, ask Bill Belichick. I thought you were going to say Bill Belichick asked his girlfriend.
No.
Yeah.
Well, because Bill Belichick is, he knows younger women, so Bill Belichick would tell Trump, hey, Taylor Swift's not hot.
Yeah. Just like saying sorry. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And Mike Richards, apparently.
Mike Richards. We love Mike Richards. We should interview him. Mike Richards, if you're watching this, please reach out. We'd love to talk to you about your time as the host of Divided Jeopardy and Beauty and the Geek. Beauty and the Geek, you never heard of that show? That's a show that he did before Divided in like the early 10s.
Early 10s, yeah, when everything was less cancel culture-ish.
Yeah.
But,
It was. Actually, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, that was in 2005. 2005 to 08. Okay.
Tyler Calver, you son of a...
What did Tyler Cover do? Hi, Tyler. Let me look.
You know what?
I'll look.
Screw this.
Of course
Screw this.
he did that. Yeah.
Screw this. Screw this. MF. Hello? Tyler, please. Tyler Calvert?
Are you calling him?
Hello.
What did you do? Explain to the audience.
Explain what?
Explain what you did to the audience.
I made you look old.
Why did you do that?
I was bored.
You were bored, like a certain Game Show geek that wanted to say, "Oh, I'm bored. Come to my Game Show streams." Was that Tyler?
I got bored. I'm not doing anything right now, so I figured why not.
What is your passion? I'll ask you this. What is your passion for making those pictures?
I think it's just funny.
Just funny. Well, here's my question. How come, I mean, I know you do it to other people, but in some ways, I feel like I'm the main target. Wink, wink. I'm the main target. Wink, wink. So, would you like to send an apology to the audience for that interruption?
Sure. I'd like to apologize for absolutely nothing. The champ does what he wants.
Shut up!
I agree.
God damn it!
Follow me at Blue Sky Social GS Fan 2001 bsky.social.
What am I gonna do with this squirt? What am I gonna do with this squirt, Danny? What am I
I
gonna do
don't
with
know.
this squirt?
I think he's funny.
He is funny, but not more days. Not more ways than one.
Yeah.
2 for 99. 2 for 99. Jesus Christ.
That's what you should do, David. You should work at a convenience store and just stand outside the store yelling 2 for 99.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to get a job that I end up burnt out afterwards because I am... Here's the thing. I used to volunteer part of my school program. Have you heard the store Hanover?
I think so.
It's like one of those grocery stores, and like at the end of the day, we were doing like a conditioning.
Yeah.
And you know, I stopped doing that like a few months ago. They changed my schedule, and I was just like, I'm not doing that again because I don't want to have a job that makes me burn out. I want to focus on other things because jobs to me is not how you're doing. Wait a minute. So in old folks' home, the picture.
You can work at an old folks' home, yeah.
I'll allow you to do it if you do it to everybody you see here. No, in the our group chat. But
group chat.
Yes, the renegades. What is this? There was something. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Only 2 vacation weeks. I mean, that's not fair, Danny. I mean, come on, you gotta admit that's not fair. 2 weeks only.
Maybe they'll give you more because you're a YouTube star.
A YouTube star.
Or if you tell them you're a YouTube star, and they might believe it.
I mean, I'll definitely sell them an account and say, "Hey, pay me." You smoke. But what about what? How come you didn't sell them your YouTube channel, Kenny?
Because I just decided I thought work was more important. Now that I found a job. Well, hold on. The first job I had I didn't like, so then I decided to find a job that I would be more comfortable with, and I did that. And it had its ups and downs. But then after doing that for about 4 years, I decided to look for other places, and that's what we're doing now. And in another 4 years, I might be somewhere else. We'll see.
Oh boy. Also, here's another question. This will be, it's getting late, and I'm going to play one more sports segment, and then we'll officially go off the air because I promised this individual to do this segment. I see. Teachers are. It's why people are grown. But the thing is, they don't.
You could be a teacher's assistant.
Possibly, but what I mean by that is that teachers are the reason why us from going to school are smart, like we are today, right?
I think so. No, you could say that.
But here's the thing: they're not looking forward to their jobs every single. Like they're not looking forward to school every single day.
Sometimes.
I'm not saying all of them, but I feel like every single Monday they don't like Mondays. They don't like, just going to school in general. They're always looking forward to Fridays. They're always looking forward to vacations and stuff. And I'm just like, why are you doing it in the first place? Because if you're supposed to be having a good job in life, then why did you pick a job that you don't like going to every single day with the attitude I'd rather be home today?
And sometimes you gotta. Well, that's every job is like that. It's not like you gotta go to a job that you're gonna.
I know that, but I just mean you should at least enjoy your job much as you can, despite that. Like there's no.
That's why you should work at CBS. Not CBS. You could work at CBS. You'd have to move to LA. But I mean, work at CVS, the pharmacy place that's not Walgreens.
Yeah, I was about to say, dang.
And if I don't, and if the call center gets rid of me, then I'll go work at CVS. Could you imagine?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it's just that find a job that you look forward to every day, despite those things that you don't like doing, because that causes an influence on other people of them saying, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this job either," because if they don't like it, that I'm going there every single day, then why I should?
It's a long time ago.
What?
Nothing.
But that's just my speech right there. But why are you doing that?
That means hang loose. Yeah, but my advice would be is that whenever you're having trouble, just turn on Channel 4 and watch one.
Yes. Not MSNBC.
MSNBC is channel 356 if you have DirecTV stream like I do. But
yeah, that channel sucks.
You just don't watch it enough. You haven't given it a chance.
News Nation is better.
Well,
with that record, survey says.
Yeah, I made the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to watch other. By the way, what is his real name? Do we know that?
I prefer not to ask.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's crazy how well names, But maybe that person is BH for names.
Braden Martin, Jordan Big, and Donald St. Dennis.
Yes.
David 2900. Yeah, one time a funny thing I did. Now last year, I should point out that the baseball rundown kind of is a spinoff of a show we used to have here on the network called the Dugout Crew.
Yeah, I
And-
dressed it up to make it shorter and not confusing.
And on the episode that aired on June 6th of last year, I did a surprise cameo, but I first came in as David 2900, and then they knew it was me.
Yeah. That was for your birthday.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And hopefully Joey can come back next week because he's been keep getting called into work.
Right.
That's another thing I don't like about jobs. They say, "Oh, you have to come into work. You have to go in for someone." I mean, I wasn't even being told that I was going to work that certain day, and you're telling me to fill in for someone because they're out, and like last minute, the night before when I was going to take that day off to do some other crap.
Yeah,
Now,
if you work at Walgreens, they would probably call you in and be like, "Hey, somebody else is sick. You should come in, even though it's your day off." And
you should come in. Yeah, they not even say please. They say
sometimes they don't, but
you should come in. Yeah. What about? Can you come here for this person, please? We'll double your salary if we do, or whatever. And I would be like, okay, more money, sweet. No, they just give it the same price just because of one day. Jesus Christ. Because I just bosses suck, just like the Yankees and the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys, right?
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. And I just don't know. I never worked for bosses. Only work for yourselves and all that. Just make sure that if a boss wants to fight you, just say, then fight your ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Yeah. Or ex whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna play the video here for Mr. Barbier that he's gonna be talking about the latest on the NBA and NHL because I originally was gonna end around this time, but with the hangout session earlier doing well, I'm gonna put that on hold. So I'm just gonna play this talking playoffs video here. And then once that's done, I'll come on here solo to the closing, and that'll be it. Because
all right, I'll see you guys later then. I'll be in the live chat, but I'm gonna get off the stream. Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Bye.
And like I said, I was gonna play this video earlier, but with the hangout session going well, I decided to put that on hold, which is what I'm most deal from that one. Anyway, here is Michael Bombardier on the playoffs. Not big enough. Which one should I do? Okay, this.
And we are one step closer to our final four. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And time once again to talk some NBA and NHL playoff action. I'm Mike Bombardier. Pleasure to have you along for the ride. And we are coming off quite a game 6 in Madison Square Garden, and it just a few short moments ago. First off, let's talk about the Cleveland series real quick. Indiana Pacers go on to win the series 4-1, and they were by the scores of Indiana winning the first two by the scores of 121 to 112, 120 to 119. Cleveland won game 3 to send it to at least 5 by the score of 126 to 104. Indiana wins the final two by the scores of 129 to 109 and 114 to 105. Donovan Mitchell had quite the series with 34.2 points per game and 5.8 rebounds per game during the series. But Indiana was led by Tyrese Halliburton with 17.4 points per game and 4.6 rebounds. And they are heading in with a boatload of confidence to the Eastern Conference Final. As for the next Boston series, I know some of my Massachusetts friends, David and Eric, are going to be upset about this. New York goes on to beat Boston 4-2. They won the first two shockingly by the scores of 108 to 105 in overtime, 91 to 90. Then Boston would take game 3 to send it to at least 5 by the score of 115 to 93. Knicks would take game 4 by the score of 121 to 113. And then the Celtics would survive elimination in game 5 by the score of 127 to 102. But in game 6, it was all she wrote. As the Knicks would go on to win, and probably be the Celtics' worst playoff game in recent history by the score of 119 to 81. Series leader included Jason Tatum for the Celtics with 25 points per game and 11.8 rebounds, and Jalen Brunson for the Knicks with 26.2 points per game and 3.8 rebounds. And that sets up for a wonderful Eastern Conference Final. The number 4 seed Indiana Pacers taking on the number 3 in New York Knicks, and for the first time since 2021, I believe, we will have an NBA final that does not consist of either Steph Curry or Jason Tatum. And I gotta say, that is pretty huge. Why do I say that? Well, we have our first team to make it to the Western Conference Final, as Minnesota goes on and demolishes the Golden State Warriors 4-1. Golden State went on to win the first game by the score of 99 to 88, but then it was all Minnesota through games 2 through 5, winning by the scores of 117 to 93, 102 to 97, 117 to 110, and then in game 5, 121 to 110. And team series leaders for the Minnesota Timberwolves were series leaders. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, they relied on Anthony Edwards with 26.2 rebounds and 7.6, and 26.2 points per game and 7.6 rebounds per game. Sorry, I got words mixed up there. For the Golden State Warriors, they relied on Jimmy Butler III with 20.2 points per game and 7.4 rebounds per game. Series average is, from a team perspective, Minnesota averaged 109 points per game to Golden State's 101.8 points per game. For the Western Conference semifinal, they will go to a game 7 on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 on ABC. Let's take a look at how we got here. Denver goes on to win game 1 in really close fashion, 121 to 119. Oklahoma City would come back to tie it. Oklahoma City would then come back to tie the series by the score of a dominating 149 to 106. Denver takes game 3, in overtime, 113 to 104. And then Oklahoma City will go in to tie it in pretty low scoring fashion, 92 to 87. Oklahoma City would then go on to take another game in game 5, 112 to 105, facing elimination. And then the Denver Nuggets go on to win Game 6, 119-107 to set up for a decisive Game 7 in Oklahoma City. Series leaders so far include Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with 28.8 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. For the Denver Nuggets, they rely heavily on Nikola Jokic with 29.8 points per game and 14.7 rebounds per game. Series averages so far. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are averaging 113 points per game and 46.5 rebounds per game. For the Denver Nuggets, they are averaging 808.5 points per game and 50 rebounds per game. Man, I am really looking forward to the Eastern Conference Final. I have not seen the Knicks. I don't think I've ever seen the Knicks in a position where they could have a chance to win it all. And this year could be that opportunity. Who knows? But then again, congratulations to the Knicks on this night. And let me take a look. Oh, I can share this tab. I can click on share this tab instead. Nice. Alrighty. Now we go to the NHL playoffs in second round action, and we have two teams already going to their respective conference finals. Let's take a look at. Now, I literally thought that Washington would make the Stanley Cup final. Oh, but I guess I was wrong then. Well, I guess I was wrong. Carolina comes in and pounds on the Capitals 4-1. Carolina took the first game in overtime 2-1. Washington sends it to at least 5 by the score of 3-1. And then it was all too much for Carolina on these nights, winning by the scores of 4-0, 5-2, and 3-1. They move on to the Eastern Conference Final. For the Western Conference, the Edmonton Oilers, who, by the way, have such a devil of a head coach, mind you, and Chris Knobloch, who is the same head coach, mind you, prior to last year's Stanley Cup final, had the nerve to blast the Buffalo Bills for Super Bowl appearances when they were in a completely different sport. And then Florida Panthers and then we would get massive help from the Florida Panthers and Paul Maurice. So Oilers take the first two by the scores of 4-2, and then the second game in overtime by the score of 5-4. Then the Golden Knights would send it to at least 5 by the score of 4-3. And then it was all too much for the Oilers in the final 2 games of the series, winning by the scores of 3-0 and 1-0. They moved to their second consecutive Western Conference final. For a series that is going into Game 7. And oh boy, this is make or break time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They took the first 2 by the scores of 5-4 and 4-3. Then Florida would take the next 2 games, one of those, to overtime by the score of 5-4. And the second by 2-0, sending it to at least 6 games. And then the Panthers would demolish the Maple Leafs in Game 5 by the score of 6-1. And then the Maple Leafs would starve off elimination by the score of 2-0 to send it to a decisive Game 7 in Toronto. For the President's Cup trophy winners. And boy, this is make or break time for the Winnipeg Jets. They must win to send it to a decisive Game 7. They need late heroics and I need big heroics from their star players. Dallas in the opening game wins by the score of 3-2. Winnipeg would send it to at least 5 by the score of 4-0. Dallas will go on to win the next two by the scores of 5-2 and 3-1. Winnipeg sends it to a 6th game in Dallas by the score of 4-0. As for my Stanley Cup champions pick, well, Washington. Why? Man, led by arguably the greatest goal scorer, one of the greatest goal scorers ever, in Alexander Ovechkin. I got no words, really. Just no words. I mean, even though my second pick of Winnipeg is still on the board, for me, I would love to see a battle of Canada between Edmonton and Toronto. But I think with what Florida has been able to do in recent years, I don't see it happening. But I would love to see an Edmonton Toronto Stanley Cup. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section when this gets published. And we'll be right back with more of the Chilling3000 Hangouts right after this. Don't go away.
Alright, that is going to be in here for this 175th episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. I'm still a bit out of breath. Not sure if anybody's still watching in the chat, but feel free to comment if you want. Before we sign off, thank you to Michael for doing that segment, at least for the rest of these playoffs going into the summer. And, well, going to be ending in the summer. And as for when sports really get picked up in the fall, I'm not sure what are we doing with that as concerned. But we'll see how it goes with that. I want to personally thank everybody who has participated on this episode. It has been a real pleasure, and I'm looking forward to next week for episode number 176. And who will be on next week? Well, it is Tyler Calvert. So stay tuned for that episode next week. And same time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on the Network 3000. And right now I am going to sleep, trying to rest for the night because I left so hard in this episode. And I'm so glad I was having those sports segments for you all, so that way I could take a break from everything to take a breather, because I wasn't going to be nice to that one. But anyway, thank you all so much. Take care, God bless you all, and have a better day tomorrow. No pun intended. So, let me see. Any last words? I have some last words for you all. And that will be this.
I'm a Hufflepuff. No, bitch, you work at Staples.